Hi, this is Alan with 4A's Racing Loft. I'm here to give a update today from the last time that we recorded something. We've had some fairly significant changes. So let me just actually show you. So we have separated the front of the loft into 4 different pens. So they're 4 feet deep by 6 feet wide. So we have 4 of those. And then on the back side, as you can see, or hopefully you can see, it's the same size pens, but I actually split them in half. So there's 8 3-foot pens on the back side. But what I actually would do during breeding season is make them individual breeding pens. Will give me 8. But as you see it today, this is what it will look like. So you have a 6-foot wide pen, which then they can go straight across to the back. It actually is going to be 6 foot wide also, but it's split in half, so 3 and 3. But I will have perch on both sides. I'm sorry, y'all, it's late. On both sides where the pigeons can roost, and I will have doors that can block this area off. At the bottoms, you see those little holes cut out. That will actually be doors that if I want to move them from one area to another, that I can open and run them through. The trap is actually going to be right here. So, but what I will be able to do based on the trap is either force them to go to the left or the right, which will allow me to train the sexes separately. I believe hens fly better than a cock, so typically I'll let the cocks out first. If I can get 45 minutes to an hour out of them, I'll be happy. After that, I'll let the hens out, and they typically will give you an hour to an hour and a half once they get up to that point. But we're making great progress. I'm happy with where we are. It's looking good. Soon the aviaries will be on the front, which will be 3 foot. I'm going to say 3 foot high, 2 feet deep. Each pen will have its own aviary, which a board in between. So in case there's opposite sex that they won't sit there and constantly burn a lot of energy, which you really don't want them to do. You want them to rest. Excuse the work area. It is a little messy, but we are making progress, so you can see the inside. This is probably a better shot, which will eventually be the 8 individual breeding pens. So 3 foot wide, 7.5 feet tall. But you can see from the opposite side, they'll be able to come straight across. The doors will close up so they can have this whole 12-foot area by 6 feet, but just trying to make it multi-purpose. As you can see, the walkway is a little over 3 foot wide. You know, I've had my struggles in the past with narrow hallways, and definitely do not want to go through that again. As I've gotten younger, it's harder to do some things, so trying to make it easier for me. You definitely can see the hole at the bottom, which will be hinged, where I could run them from one holding area to another when I get to that point. So great progress. We'll be tackling putting the rest of the hardy plank on the outside, on the front, the back. You can see the plastic now, I think, because it's overcast. It's easy to see. Actually, I don't believe I had the roof on last time, so you actually get to see that with the overhang. It's probably about 14 inches overhang. It is a lean-to, as I mentioned, so the front that's facing east is 2 feet higher than the back. It slopes down. As I mentioned before, the back is facing west. We'll take hardy plank to bump up to the boards, so we'll cover the plate. And the same on this side, it'll be covered all the way to the top. Hopefully we'll get that done this coming weekend. And then after that, the outside or exterior, once the aviaries go up, will be ready for paint. So we'll continue to make progress. You see the plexiglass in the center, which I will believe would allow a lot more light in it. And I know last time I said the goats are always making noise, so we'll walk over there briefly. These are Kinko goats. which is a New Zealand breed goat. I have 100% New Zealand, and purebreds, which is 95% New Zealand. Both have to be DNA tested so they can track back to the original goats that were brought over to the US many years ago. Thor, come here. Thor is my Alatonian Shepherd Guardian livestock dog. He's a great dog, very smart, very loving. My son actually loves him. He is a big boy. He is very protective. Good boy. He's very protective over his animals. Oh, actually, you can see one of the babies. I know he's a hog for time. That's one of the boys, one of the young billies. There's another baby, which is brown. That's another baby billy. On the other side, which I'm not sure if you can see, there's a couple of more billies, and I have 14 does. No old billies at this time. I would do that later. What you see on the ground is actually cedar trees. Goats can actually eat cedar trees. One of the few animals that can. It's like a natural dewormer for them. But it's a great way to utilize shrubs instead of throwing them away. And I'm clearing the property with a lot of trees that I do not want here. I cut them down and feed them to the goats. So look, more to come soon. We are making progress. Since last time, we have the lean-to roof. The pony wall is finished. You can see the back braces tied in. The metals are on top. We now have individual pins on the back, but will also be used during race season. So it'll be 12 feet wide. I'm sorry, 12 feet deep, 6 feet wide, that they can actually utilize. There'll be doors in the hallway that will block off one end from another. You see the holes in the bottom that I can run them back and forth in between, and a very large walkway, which I definitely do need as I get younger here, thinking about what's going to be easier for me. So look, I appreciate it. If you like the information that you see, or you want me to keep making videos, please give me a thumbs up and subscribe. Y'all take care. Be safe. God bless.